May we now invite the President of the National University of Singapore Buddhist Society, Brother Waikit, to give us the opening speech. Waikit, please.
Okay, thanks, Alvin. Yes, first of all, a very good afternoon to everyone, to Ajahn Brahm for gracing us on this occasion, and to our society patrons who are with us today, to our members, our alumni, and our guests. Now, I can't tell you just how glad I am that we're all gathered here today, because, I've always enjoyed Ajahn's talks, and I think it's wonderful that we get to share the Dharma right here at the university. And I'm particularly grateful to my fellow NUS students because I know that it's exam season. Our exams are next week, and some of us even have exams this Saturday. So I really appreciate it that you've taken time off to come down to be with us. But those of us who have listened to Ajahn's talks know just how beneficial they are, so I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Also, I want to thank everyone who has helped to make today's talk possible. In particular, Brother Damon, who's worked tirelessly to coordinate this event. Credit really goes to him. And to my Vice President, Brother Xin Zhao, to my management committee, to the subcommittee members, the alumni, the Office of Alumni Relations, the Buddhist Fellowship, and of course, all of you who are with us today to grow and share the Dharma. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the afternoon with us, and may all of you be well and happy. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Waikit. May I now introduce to you our speaker for the talk, Ajahn Brahm. Ajahn Brahm was born in London in 1951. Despite coming from a working class background, he managed to obtain a scholarship to Cambridge and graduated with a degree in theoretical physics. Although successful in academic pursuits, Ajahn read extensively about and became interested in Buddhism. At the age of 23, he received ordination and trained for several years under the tutelage of a renowned meditation master, Ajahn Chah, in Thailand. In 1983, he was invited to Perth by the Buddhist Society of Western Australia. Excuse me. Currently, he is the abbot of Bodhinyaya Buddhist Monastery in Australia, which is recognized internationally as one of the world's premier monastic institutions. He is also the spiritual patron of Bodhi Kusuma Buddhist and Meditation Center in Australia, and the Buddhist Fellowship in Singapore. In October 2004, he was awarded the John Curtin Medal for his vision, leadership, and service to the Australian community by Curtin University. He is also the writer of two books, titled Opening the Door of Your Heart and Mindfulness, Bliss and Beyond, a Meditator's Handbook. Today, NUS Buddhist Society is honored to invite Ajahn here to be our speaker on the topic, how to balance your personal life and studies positively. As students in university here in Singapore, there's no doubt that we are constantly flooded with projects, assignments, quizzes, and examinations. Completion often generates stress and negative feelings, making us feel frustrated, envious, fearful, and therefore unhappy. We hardly have enough time for our friends, family, and other interactions at all. Furthermore, despite the workload and lack of time, we sometimes spend our energy in anxiety and restlessness. How are we to get out of this mess? May we now invite Ajahn to compassionately share with us how we can overcome our obstacles and achieve happiness. Ajahn, please.
Thank you very much, and it is a delight to be here. I know everybody who gives a talk has to say how happy they are to be here, even sometimes they're not, but actually I am. And one of the reasons is because I have immense gratitude to the Buddhist Society of Cambridge, because when I became a student, that's very kind of you. Very good, double merit. Wow. Triple benefit. Yes, yes. Very good. You see, as a monk, you don't have to have any stress at all. You just sit here and people bring things to you. Isn't that a wonderful thing to do? Wouldn't it be nice if you just sat here and people brought you a degree and then a master's and then a PhD? But that's not so much of a joke as you'll hear during this talk. But again, I was so grateful because I learned my Buddhism, at least a great amount of it, while I was a student. And it helped me enormously. And I have enormous gratitude to that University Buddhist Society. And I love teaching at Buddhist societies in universities simply because I know exactly what it's like, and I know how to deal with those stresses. And I know how to balance a life, because for me it certainly worked. I did extremely well at university. And even today, I know many of my fellows who were Buddhist who could actually succeed, and those who didn't use these great teachings. And because they didn't make use of them, they didn't do very well. So first of all, you are smart people by investing an hour or two of your time, even though there's going to be exams next week. I will guarantee you that your grades will be much better as a result of coming to this talk. So call this exam preparation. Because that's really important in life. Look, this is a story which I've told very often, but which illustrates just how powerful the training I had in Buddhism, especially meditation, was to the time I did my exams. Now you guys are lucky, because your examinations or your grades are not just on one set of quizzes, as you call them. They're on assignments taken throughout the year. There were many, many aspects of your academic career contribute to your eventual grades at the end of the year. But in those days, which was I was at Cambridge between 1969 and 72. In those days, everything was down to what they call final examinations, which was just one series of exams at the end of your whole university career. And everything else counted for absolutely zip, nothing. You had a series of exams, and you failed or you passed. You got your grades on what was for me 6 days of tests. So you can imagine the amount of stress when everything depended on one set of exams. And I was told that these were so important, your career depended upon this. You're at a great university. If you got a good examination result, a good grade, you were set for life. If only I had known at the time that I was going to become a monk, I wouldn't need to study so hard. Well, they knew at that time. So I believed everybody this was really, really important, and I had to study hard. But my advantage was I learned how to rest my mind in meditation. In that year, I was studying, it was under the Natural Sciences Tripos. They called it Tripos because that was a three-legged stool in which students used to sit about 200 or 300 years ago to be examined orally. And they still kept that Tripos, the three-leg. So it's Natural Sciences at Cambridge University. The exams in theoretical physics, which I was taking, was 6 days. 3-hour exam in the morning, an hour for lunch, and 3-hour exam in the afternoon. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. 6 days in a row. That's what we call torture. Amnesty International would ban that these days. Fortunately, they've gone on from that. But this was what I was faced with. 6 days of examinations with my whole career resting on the results. So what I did, I had an advantage over all the other students in my class, simply because I was the only one who practiced some meditation. Every lunchtime, I never went for lunch. I never ate anything. Instead, I went to my room and meditated, just for half an hour. And this is what would happen on every one of those lunch hours during those final examinations. As soon as you sat down, you were just so stressed after a 3-hour exam on theoretical physics that I closed my eyes and there's nowhere I could be still. My mind was obsessed with thinking of what I had answered in the morning exam. Whether I'd answered that question correctly, whether I could have added a bit more sort of argument to the logical process of what was basically mathematics. And you realise that thinking about the morning exam is a total waste of time. The papers are in, they cannot be changed, so I worry about what's already happened. Logically, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? But how many of you can do that? How many of you, when you've finished an exam, can actually stop worrying about it? Because of my training in simple Buddhist meditation, which is a mind technique, it was very easy to forget about the morning exam, to put it down, to rest. And so as soon as I let go of the worry about the morning examination, what came into my head next? The afternoon exam, which was going to come in about 40 minutes' time. Now, many times, now before an examination, I've picked up the books just to do some last-minute revision. Now, this is only anecdotal experience. I haven't done a full survey on this, but I think if any psychologist did a survey on university students about what you swat up an hour before the examination, you'll find that in 99% of the time, what you read 1 hour before the examination does not come up in the paper. Again, you're wasting your time. And one of the things which I was taught, which really helped me, and these are little sayings which I think you can remember. The saying is, where is your future being made? When is the only time you can do anything for your future? It's right now. So worrying about the future was actually neglecting the future. I was neglecting the place I could make an impact on my future right now. Because I knew that I'd done all the studies, I'd done all the revision. It was all in my head somewhere. But what I really needed to do now was to relax, re-energize. That was more important than studying. So I let go of the future, fear and worry about this important exam coming just in a few minutes' time. And as soon as I let go of past and future, get it? No past, no future. In the present moment, that's the only time you could do anything with your mind. That was the first level of meditation. I was actually present. And once I became present, I was very surprised, because I found that my body was shaking. Now, many of you may not think you're nervous. Maybe you're not nervous in most situations, but when it's exam time, which is coming next week, and you've been putting all the effort of the whole year into this examination, and it's really important for you, you will become nervous. It's natural. But how do you deal with that nervousness? My body was shaking, and that surprised me because I didn't see it. As soon as you're mindful of your body shaking, it's very easy to relax it. When you don't know you're doing it, you can't do anything at all. So once I found my body was shaking, it was very easy just to relax. Just like now, relaxing, sitting back in the chair. This is nice. If you can do the same to your mind, you know what, I better get up before someone takes a photo of me like this. When you know how to relax, it's very easy to sort of relax the body. All that shaking began to stop. And my body became reasonably still. And at that point, I saw the next level of problem. Once the body was relaxing and resting, I looked at my mind, basically my brain. And it felt so tired. It just had hardly any energy left. Because I was in England, I used a simile. It's like if ever you have a cup of tea with a tea bag, and you take the tea bag out and there's nothing left inside of it. That's what my mind felt like a used tea bag. There's no juice or oomph left. And so once I realised that, I went,